Do you enjoy going into dark, scary tunnels? Well, get ready for the ultimate biking thrill. We're about to pedal through the 8 longest rail trail tunnels in the U.S. From east to west, these historic tunnels hold the secrets of the past, promising an adventure like no other. Whether you're a biking enthusiast, history buff, or just seeking an unforgettable journey, this video promises a unique blend of adventure, nature, and the fascinating stories hidden within each tunnel. So gear up, saddle up, and let the journey begin. Tucked away along the scenic 30-mile Allegheny River Trail in western Pennsylvania, the Rockland Tunnel is a 2,869-foot invitation into a world of cool darkness and a touch of mystery. This tunnel isn't just a passage, it's an experience. A big, scary, dark tunnel.
Big dark.
I'm scared. How'd you turn your lights up? Back in 1916, the Pennsylvania Railroad decided that they'd had enough of the river's winding curves and blasted through solid rock to create 3 tunnels for a more direct route. The Rockland Tunnel was one of them, a true engineering marvel of its time. Now, fast forward to 2003, and this slice of history got a second life as part of the hiking and biking trail system. But don't let its modern use fool you. This tunnel still knows how to keep things spooky. Oh! Oh! I stopped. Oh my God! You'll step into pitch blackness with just a hint of light teasing you from the far end. But don't get too excited. It's just a curve to the left playing tricks on you. One of the tunnel's quirks is a slight bend at the end, known as a dogleg, which means you can't see the exit when you first enter. This creates an extra layer of suspense and maybe even a little spookiness as you pedal further into the darkness. But don't worry, the trail inside is wide, smooth, and well maintained, making it a fun and safe experience. And if the darkness wasn't enough, the Rockland Tunnel is also home to a colony of bats. Yep, these winged residents love the cool, damp atmosphere as much as cyclists and hikers do. And to keep them safe during the colder months, the tunnel is closed periodically, making it a seasonal gem for visitors. So whether you're here for the history, the wildlife, or the goosebumps, the Rockland Tunnel is a must-ride experience on this beautiful trail. Tell me about the big scary tunnel.
I didn't think it was that scary. It was scary watching you when you almost fell off the trail.
Yeah, and I left you. Where'd I leave you?
Underneath the waterfall. Look at it, I'm socked. You stopped and I'm like, geez. Just like a water park, a tube ride on a water park.
The Towpath Tunnel isn't just a key feature of the Chesapeake and Ohio Canal National Historical Park. It's a gateway to adventure, history, and maybe even a ghost story or two. Stretching an impressive 3,118 feet, this 19th century engineering marvel was carved by hand through solid rock between 1836 and 1850, creating a passage that's as challenging as it is fascinating. Imagine this. To avoid building 6 miles of canal along the turbulent twist of the Potomac River, the C&O Canal Company opted to dig straight through a mountain. The plan? 2 years of work. The reality? 14 grueling years of back-breaking labor, thanks to funding shortfalls, worker strikes, and even violent disputes. Armed with dynamite, pickaxes, and sheer determination, workers battled loose shale and stubborn rock to complete the tunnel, which opened in 1850. Even after its completion, rock slides kept things interesting. The tunnel's purpose was simple, yet brilliant: to allow canal boats to bypass dangerous river bends safely. But today it offers something entirely different: an unforgettable trek through darkness and history. As you walk or bike through its damp and shadowy interior, you might feel a chill and wonder if the legends are true. Stories of ghostly encounters and eerie sounds have earned the tunnel a reputation for being haunted. But don't let the ghost stories distract you from the tunnel's real star power: its incredible craftsmanship and the unique experience of passing through its long, cool depths. So, whether you're here for the history, the thrills, or just to say you brave the darkness, the Towpath Tunnel promises a journey you won't soon forget. Our sixth longest tunnel is the Big Savage Tunnel. About 9 miles southeast of Meyersdale, the Big Savage Tunnel stands as one of the crown jewels of the Great Allegheny Passage. Stretching an impressive 3,294 feet, this engineering marvel is steeped in history and packed with adventure. Back in the early 1900s, when coal and steel ruled the economy, the Western Maryland Railway had big dreams. They set out to connect Cumberland, Maryland to Connellsville, Pennsylvania, as part of a larger network stretching from Baltimore to Pittsburgh and beyond. This ambitious 87-mile Connellsville extension required 4 tunnels, with Big Savage being the longest and most impressive. Built in just 2 years, the tunnel opened in 1912 and served the railway for decades before the line was abandoned in 1975. Thankfully, this historical gem was given new life as part of the 150-mile Gap Trail, now welcoming cyclists and hikers at mile marker 22. What really makes the Big Savage Tunnel a standout is its location. Perched at 2,375 feet above sea level on the Eastern Continental Divide, it's one of the highest points on the entire trail. The climb to the tunnel may test your legs, but the payoff is worth it. Panoramic views of the surrounding mountains that will take your breath away, if the ride hasn't already. If you look out over the landscape,
it's beautiful.
And then there's the story behind the name. The tunnel was named for John Savage, an 18th century surveyor with one of the most dramatic backstories you'll hear. In the winter of 1736, Savage and his team nearly starved while mapping the area. In an extraordinary act of bravery, Savage offered himself as food to save his crew. Luckily, a rescue arrived just in time. His selflessness earned him a permanent place in history, with nearby mountains, streams, and even this remarkable tunnel bearing his name. So whether you're here for the history, the challenge, or the views, the Big Savage Tunnel promises an unforgettable adventure on the Great Allegheny Passage. Tucked away on the scenic 30-mile Allegheny River Trail in western Pennsylvania, the Kennerdell Tunnel offers a thrilling mix of history, adventure, and a touch of mystery. At 3,350 feet long, which is a little more than 11 football fields, it's a journey through darkness that both cyclists and hikers won't soon forget. Built around 1915, likely alongside its neighbor, the Rockland Tunnel, Kennerdell was a key piece of the Allegheny Valley Railroad, later becoming part of the Pennsylvania Railroad system. This tunnel once played a vital role in the region's industrial heyday, transporting coal and goods along the Allegheny River. Today, it serves as a fascinating time capsule of that era, repurposed for modern-day exploration. What sets the Kennerdell Tunnel apart is its eerie charm. Like its sister tunnel, the Rockland Tunnel, the slight dogleg at one end means you can't see the light at the other side when you first step inside, giving it an air of mystery and excitement. The cool, damp air only adds to the atmosphere, making it feel like you're stepping into another world. For an unforgettable moment, stop in the middle of the tunnel, switch off your lights and listen. The silence is so profound, you might hear your own heartbeat echoing off the walls. It's a rare kind of stillness that makes you feel both humbled and exhilarated. So whether you're here for the history, the adventure, or just the thrill of the unknown, the Kennerdell Tunnel promises a unique and memorable experience on the Allegheny River Trail. Tunnel number 3 on the Elroy-Sparta Trail isn't just any tunnel. It's a part of rail trail history. As a highlight of the country's very first rail trail and a Rails to Trails Conservancy Hall of Fame trail, this 3,810-foot-long tunnel delivers an unforgettable experience. The cool, dark interior and the stark contrast from the bright daylight outside add a sense of adventure and mystery to your journey, making it a must-see for cyclists and hikers alike. Originally constructed in 1873 as part of the Chicago and Northwestern Railway, Tunnel number 3 stands as a remarkable example of 19th century engineering. Carved through solid rock, it once served as a vital transportation route for passengers and freight. Today, it offers a time travel-like glimpse into the past, blending history with outdoor exploration. A fascinating detail of this tunnel is its unique ventilation system. Openings at both ends were designed to naturally circulate air, addressing the challenges of smoke-filled passageways in the steam train era. As you pass through, you might feel the temperature drop and notice the cool, damp microclimate that makes this tunnel so distinctive. Keep an eye out for the heavy wooden doors at the entrances and exits. They're relics from a bygone era. During winter, watchmen once opened and closed these doors to prevent snow from piling up inside the tunnel. These days, the tunnel closes from November to May, a schedule partially influenced by its winter residents, the northern long-eared bat. Listed as a threatened species in 2015, these bats hibernate in Tunnel Number 3, adding an ecological importance to its historical charm. So whether you're here for the history, the adventure, or the chance to experience one of rail trail history's most iconic landmarks, Tunnel Number 3 on the Elroy-Sparta State Trail is an experience you won't forget. Well, I don't know what's up with me, but that tunnel scared the daylights out of me. It was bumpy. Of course, you're supposed to be walking, which we were, but it was bumpy and dark and long and wet. But the good news is, I'm glad we did it, but I'm glad we're not going both ways on this trail and going through it again. Coming in at number 3 is the Blue Ridge Tunnel, also known as the Crozet Tunnel, after its visionary engineer Claudius Crozet, is a masterpiece of 19th century ingenuity and determination. Built in the 1850s as part of the Blue Ridge Railroad, this historic tunnel was the westernmost and longest of 4 tunnels designed to cut through the Blue Ridge Mountains at Rockfish Gap in central Virginia. Stretching an impressive 4,237 feet, the Blue Ridge Tunnel held the title of the longest tunnel in the United States when it was completed. Crozet originally aimed to finish it by 1853, but the unforgiving greenstone rock on the east side of the tunnel turned out to be a worthy adversary, delaying its completion. The tunnel finally opened in 1858, serving the Virginia Central Railroad, which later became the Chesapeake and Ohio Railway. For nearly a century, this engineering marvel guided trains through the mountains, playing a vital role in connecting Virginia's industries and communities. When a newer tunnel replaced it in 1944, the original Blue Ridge Tunnel was left behind, but not forgotten. Designated as a historic civil engineering landmark in 1976, it stood as a testament to Crozet's ambitious vision. After decades of restoration and careful stabilization work, the tunnel was transformed into a stunning linear park, opening to visitors in late 2020. Walking or biking through this marvel isn't just a journey through a tunnel, it's a passage through time. You're stepping into a piece of history that blends breathtaking engineering, rich stories of perseverance, and the natural beauty of Virginia's Blue Ridge Mountains. The St. Paul Pass Tunnel, better known as the Taft Tunnel, is the crown jewel of the legendary Route of the Hiawatha, a breathtaking rail trail adventure in the Bitterroot Mountains of Idaho and Montana. If you haven't heard of the Route of the Hiawatha, you're in for a treat. This 15-mile trail is packed with jaw-dropping moments as you pedal or hike across 7 soaring trestles and through 10 historic train tunnels. At an impressive 8,971 feet long, which is more than 1.5 miles, the St. Paul Pass Tunnel is the longest of the bunch and a true showstopper. It even takes you on a state-to-state journey, entering in Montana and emerging in Idaho. The cool, dark interior adds a sense of mystery and adventure, while the views waiting at the end will leave you in awe. So picture it, rugged mountains, towering trestles, and forests that seem to stretch forever. This tunnel, built in 1906 as part of the Milwaukee Road, a transcontinental railway connecting the Midwest to the Pacific Northwest, the St. Paul Pass Tunnel was a vital link for moving goods and passengers through the challenging Bitterroot terrain. After the railway was abandoned in 1980, the tunnel sat quietly for over 20 years before being given a second life as the star attraction of the route of the Hiawatha Rail Trail. Keep your eye out when you get to the middle of the tunnel. There you'll find a plaque marking the spot where the two construction crews finally met up after digging through solid rock. Talk about a high-five moment after a job well done. Today, the St. Paul Pass Tunnel offers a one-of-a-kind experience that blends history, nature, and adventure. But don't forget to pack a headlamp. It's a long, dark ride, but every second's worth it. Okay, we just came out of what they said was the big, scary tunnel. I don't know about you, but we've been in bigger.
Oh, yeah.
We've been in bigger and we've been in scarier.
Lots bigger.
That was, I think I was happy we had our light, but we only have 300 lumens, and that,
oh God, yeah.
that lit up the tunnel really nicely. But you do want to have a light in that tunnel. It's muddy, it's a little bumpy, but again, this is a beautiful tunnel compared to some we've been through.
Yeah.
Stretching an incredible 11,894 feet, yep, that's 33 football fields long, the Snoqualmie Pass Tunnel is the reigning champ of rail trail tunnels in the United States. Nestled in Washington State, this tunnel, like the St. Paul Pass Tunnel, was once a key part of the Milwaukee Road Railway, an engineering marvel completed in 1914 to connect the Midwest to the Pacific Northwest. Fast forward to 1980. When the railway was abandoned, the tunnel spent over 20 years in quiet retirement. But in a fantastic twist of fate, it was reborn as part of the Iron Horse State Park Trail, now known as the Palouse to Cascades State Park Trail. Today, it's a bucket list destination for cyclists and hikers, offering an unforgettable journey through history and the stunning Cascade Mountains as your backdrop. Before diving into the tunnel's shadowy depths, be sure to strap on your headlamp or grab a flashlight. Trust us, fumbling for a light source after you're surrounded by darkness is not part of the adventure. The Snoqualmie Pass Tunnel is tall, wide, and surprisingly straight. Other than a slight curve to the left at the start, it's smooth sailing, or pedaling, all the way through. You might even spot the proverbial light at the end of the tunnel early on, but don't let it fool you. That light is still 2.3 miles away, so pace yourself. The trail inside the tunnel is in great shape, although you may encounter a few potholes where water drips from the ceiling. It's all part of the charm, adding to the feeling that you're riding through a piece of history. Keep in mind, the tunnel is closed from November 1st to May 1st, so plan your trip accordingly. Whether you're here for the adventure, the history, or just to say you conquered the longest rail trail tunnel in the country, the Snoqualmie Pass Tunnel promises a ride you'll never forget. Okay, we were on the other side of the big scary tunnel. It took a long time to get through that tunnel. It wasn't a bad ride, but my hands are absolutely frozen.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder what it'd feel like on a warm day. Probably absolutely frozen too. How was your ride?
Yeah, it was all right. A little bit, with the lights coming at you, sometimes people didn't have lights in their groups, and
this is definitely a holiday thing to do because there's people walking through the tunnel and riding through the tunnel. It's a busy spot.
Some walking two abreast, and there wasn't as much room as I would like to have. Sometimes going slow, I get a little more wobbly than I'd like to.
But we survived.
We did.
What do you guys think?
That's a wrap on the 8 longest rail trail tunnels in the U.S. From their towering dark interiors to the incredible stories hidden in their walls, these tunnels are truly a cyclist's dream come true. Whether you're pedaling through history or just enjoying the thrill of the ride, there's nothing like the feeling of cruising through these underground giants. So, what's next on your rail trail bucket list? Have you ridden through any of these tunnels, or do you have a favorite we didn't cover? Let us know in the comments. And remember, every tunnel tells a tale, but the best part is the journey you take to get there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you out on the trail, headlamp and all.
We're out of here!